I have a question for you then, if you don't mind. What did you try to do with the 1022 to modify it into being full auto? I'm just wondering, how did you go about it? Because I know there's a couple different conversions that are out there. Were you like machine shop dinking around, or just trying to change springs out?
Yeah, no, I put in different springs, and I don't remember it. Honestly, that was years ago that I was kind of obsessed with the full auto thing. And then after I had been in the Army, I lost interest in the full auto thing because...
Wore it out?
I just found out I was a lot better with it on semi-auto. But I mean, when I was a kid, when I was messing around with that stuff, I had buddies that were in the group we were in, and there were other guns that were a lot easier to convert. That's kind of when I lost interest in the 1022. We used to convert the SKSs and stuff. But the 22, I guess the reason I was always wanting to full auto 22 was because how easy they are to control. You can, like, even that Challenger. Actually, when the silencer was on that Challenger, if I pulled it right up to my shoulder on the sling, you could, pretty much get rounds as fast as you could pull the trigger. There was virtually no muzzle rise or recoil at all. It was like shooting a rifle, but it was like a pistol. There was no stock on it. So yeah, I don't remember though exactly what I did. I remember that first 1022 I was messing around with. I went through a lot of parts. I kept having to order new parts because the ones I kept modifying would break, or I'd try to put in longer firing pins and stuff. Just never. I would get it to double or triple tap sometimes, but then it would always jam or do something crazy. So.
Well, and that's kind of what I was thinking, because a lot of times that 22 round's not strong enough.
Yeah. To
knock it back, which is why I was wondering why you were interested in it, especially when you get like an SKS, where a lot of those, as you know, came over from China, and they were so dinked up from Chinese standards that they would just
they take off.
Yeah.
They
run away from you.
Yeah.
But a 22 is a lot more controllable.
Yeah, I've just always been really into 22s. That's what I had so many guns growing up, and I think for all the deer I killed, I think maybe I used a 22 for pretty much for all of them except for maybe one or two. Everything else was shot in the head with a 22.
Really?
Yeah. That's all it's pretty, Ruger 1022, that's pretty much all I use. Yeah. Once I got a bunch more guns, like I say, I shot a couple deer with the other guns. I started doing it conventional way. I had a 30-30 and SKSs and stuff. But yeah, after doing just two that way, and it's like how messy it was compared to a headshot with a 22, it was like, just go back to Old Faithful.
Are you talking blacktails or whitetails or mule deer?
Well, we had
all three.
We had all three in Eastern Washington, but it was mostly whitetails.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna bring me up on poaching charges now.
I'm just asking as a hunter myself, just wondering. Do you have antelope in Eastern Washington?
I think there are some in Central Washington.
When you get Eastern, you're talking high desert, right? Because you got the...
No, that's more Central. Eastern is more like you're getting in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains, like Panhandle of Idaho and stuff. And,
I thought that was high desert, but are you talking more like upstate New York, where the rolling hills just before the Catskills, or?
No, Eastern Washington.
No, that's what I'm saying. But the terrain, I thought it was all high desert.
No,
over there.
it's mountains. There's mountains 5,000-6,000 feet in around Colville, Spokane area. It's not till you get further west and south and west, down like around Yakima and Tri-Cities area,
Okay.
where you get into that really dry, hot, more like the high desert flat. You could call Spokane is kind of like a cross between the two. It gets hot there, but there's still some woods. But where I grew up, the mountain I grew up on is actually a lot like here. It's just very mountainous, and mountains aren't as big, but it's like a lot of the same animals: moose and bear and deer, and no grizzly bears.